This is the EFCUT wood chipper and shredder, the C40. I believe this is the largest one that they have, and they have smaller versions as well. Let's go ahead and test this out on our wood pile, our stick pile, to see if we can turn it into some usable mulch for our garden walkways. We get truckloads of mulch all the time to use in our pathways for the garden. And we also have a decent amount of woods around us and a lot of sticks that fall, and we can use those to chop up for mulch as well. So let's go ahead and put it to the test and see what happens. I invite you to join me. Here's the box. You know it's going to be heavy duty with how much it weighs, 130 pounds. This is a C40 wood chipper shredder. Makes your garden a beautiful landscape. Stuff inside: upper hopper, bottom hopper, tires, supports, brackets, chute, handle, main body assembly, assembly guide, instruction manual, gasoline engine owner's manual. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what we have on our hands. Got our instructions and we're ready to assemble. Gonna follow these steps and put it together. Doesn't look too difficult. Wheels are on. Step 3 is complete. So far it's been pretty easy. The pictures, it shows a picture of it. It doesn't give much detailed word explanation for the steps. Just tells you what pack you need and shows you a picture of it. But I found that that's been adequate for figuring out how to put it together. After the chute, we are moving on to the hopper. So the small hopper goes on first and it holds the bigger hopper. So the sticks will be fed into here, chopped up and fired out here onto a tarp or a cart. I'll probably put a tarp under here. That's my plan to start. All right, this first one is packs 5 and 6. R5, R6. How's your day going today? Right now it's kind of nice, 60 degrees out here. What do you think? Do you guys have a lot of wood chips in your garden currently that you like using? Do you have a lot of sticks or limbs that you could see yourself chopping up with one of these? Or are you on the 10th floor of an apartment building and are just watching for fun? Either way, welcome. Glad you're here. I think it's pretty big. Good thing we have room in the shed. I have an old mattress I need to take to the dump. It's honestly been in there for years. A little worried about what might be living in it. Pliers! Oh, I think I see it. There they are. So we started this garden in 2020 after moving into the house. We had gardened in the previous house as well, but for this one, I believe since we've moved here, we have had, maybe 4 loads of wood chips dropped off from local tree services, so local arborists, which has been great. We've been using so much wood chips. And I might still have them do that, but this should help us to be able to make some of our own wood chips from fallen trees and brush that we already kind of want to clean up. So it's going to be a win-win. And I'm already making a list of friends that may want to borrow this. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Groundhogs. I believe those are interchangeable. A woodchuck and a groundhog are the same. It's different than a beaver. That's what it looks like. Ta-da! So this is to help things not shoot back out at you, because it's going to be cutting it right down there. There's a little window down here that I haven't closed up off yet. That's what this will be for. But it's just right there waiting for me. So if something falls in, I can just move that up and get it out. That works great. Quick side note here, the company actually sent me a new one of these L brackets. They said to replace this one. There is a place to register online and they'll just send you the replacement part. It'll go right here and then reassemble. The oil and gas are full. We have our tarp out to catch the wood chips to be able to easily collect them. Let's fire it up and check out the EFCUT wood chipper. I'm excited to make some wood chips for our garden walkways. I still have a little bit in a pile from an arborist that dropped some off. However, We've had the stick pile here for a long time. I'm excited to clean that up. And we're always gonna need more wood chips, like literally always. We can use them for so many things. We can add some aged wood chips to our compost. We can put some in our chicken run to help balance out some of the muddiness that happens when you have chickens. And then the garden walkways, we do like to refresh each year. So there's always gonna be uses for wood chips. All right, choke, gas line open, engine run, or engine on. Let's see if it works. Turned itself off. Maybe it got jammed. Let's turn it all off and then see what happened. Yeah, it got jammed. It's a pretty cut though. Look at that. First time using it, so I've learned definitely only put one in at a time, wait for it to finish. But this is, whoo-wee. Look at that. Look at that. Got some great wood chips. Oh, it looks like a little heart. Yeah, it's doing a great job. Something interesting. I look underneath. Bolts. Let's figure out where those came from. Yeah, it's probably my bad. That is a piece that I attached myself. Just need to put it back on, tighten it up. You can put in sticks or limbs up to 4 inches, 100 millimeters, so it can handle some pretty big stuff. One thing though, I've noticed, you definitely would want to trim. I had to turn this one off. It was cutting it fine, but then this got it stuck. So you need it to be pretty straight. I have a saw or a chainsaw. I can just kind of cut off the little pieces to make it fit. But yeah, you want straight limbs, sticks, and it should take it no problem. It's kind of fun to use, to be honest. Let's take a look at some of the wood chips that we've already made. It's really fine. Wow. Compared to what I get off of an arborist truck, this is a lot more fine, so it's going to break down even quicker. So I might actually use some of this for mulch around plants. This would be great in the compost because this would break down a lot quicker than the bigger chips. Let's go add a bucket to our compost and another one to a walkway in the garden, see how it looks. I normally use shredded leaves to go along with our kitchen scraps because the shredded leaves are a good dry carbon source where the kitchen scraps are more high in nitrogen and more wet. But, oh, and the reason I don't use regular wood chips that I've gotten from the arborist before is just they're too big and they take a long time to break down. But this stuff, I can see mixing well with our kitchen scraps to compost. Our wood chips that we just made are in here. You can kind of see the contrast versus the outside of this row. I would recommend a wood chipper if you are interested in chopping up some of your sticks or limbs. Maybe you have some woods that you're clearing out or they just keep falling from trees. I would recommend it. I can definitely see using it for whatever we're not going to be using in our fire, or if we're building a new raised bed, we'll normally add a few large limbs to the bottom to help fill it up, since that portion isn't usable from the plants anyway, and it'll break down over time. So there are many uses for sticks and limbs. Using a wood chipper to make them into mulch gives them even more uses. I would just recommend making sure everything is tightened. That was on me. Some things were a little loose and then they got shaken when the chipper was on. So make sure everything is very tight. and be safe while using it. I'm Joshua with The Garden is Growing. You can find more information on the Amazon link in the description if you are interested in a wood chipper.